Hi, it's Andrea from Yoga Lounge and Bar, and today we'll go through a series of about 5 poses to help us get into a restorative practice. So these are just tutorials on ways that you can utilize props that you have at home. There's a silver lining to doing restorative at home, including you have unlimited supply of blankets probably. If you're at the yoga lounge and it's a busy day, you might only be able to have access to 2 blankets. But here, the little silver lining, get a few extra blankets to get nice and relaxed and comfortable on your mat at home. I just spent a few minutes of time just going through my home, trying to find things that I could utilize creatively for restorative. So I encourage you to do that. Just take a few minutes, see if there's something that you can use in place of a block or in place of maybe lots of extra pillows, in place of a bolster. Just be really creative. So the first of our poses will be Supta Baddha Konasana. And here you'll see behind me, I have a little box that I've placed up against a little chair or a couch. You can also do it up against a wall. And a pretty stiff pillow that goes right on top of it. So it's kind of my makeshift bolster, so to speak. Right? So this is just kind of a stiff box that I have with a little flap on it. Place that blanket right across on your mat if you'd like. I've also rolled up 2 blankets, like 2 little jelly rolls, to be placed underneath the knees to provide support for the natural weight that we carry in our knees. All right. You can also, if you have a long belt or a strap, or if maybe you don't have a strap at home, I have a really long pashmina, and it's kind of nice to use that underneath the knife edge of the foot, and you can even tie it up behind you if you wanted to, or maybe it's just something that you use to kind of pull the heels in closer to the body. But know that restorative yoga is all about rest, relaxation, peace, no strenuous activity whatsoever in the body. So here, maybe you want a little more of a stretch for the legs and pull those heels in. Or maybe not, just send them out and place those blankets underneath the knees. And allow yourself to sink back into that little makeshift bolster. Allow the support of it to act as security behind you. Find a sense of peace and calm. Arms can be open, wide like a T, palms face the sky. Ensure that you uncurl the fingertips. Allow the elbows to be heavy. Another option here is one hand on heart, one hand on belly. Taking notice of the rise and fall of breath connected to your body. The belly and chest rise on each inhale as you inflate. And the exhale, you can feel your hands sink a little closer to your spine. So yeah, options here, arms wide, hands heart and belly, or maybe just hands rest in your lap right on your thighs. So lots of options here. You can even roll up another blanket and place it behind your neck. So lots of little options with Supta Baddha Konasana. All right, next one is Child's Pose. So here in Child's Pose, like I said, I have that kind of bolster I created out of that little box. You can also find something like I have this little container, which is nice. You could place that upside down and put a pillow upon it. Even in the past, in another post, I had my little Tupperware container, big Tupperware container with a pillow on top. You can do 2 different pillows on top of each other, whatever works for you, right? So I stretched that blanket on a mat. Here's my makeshift bolster, and curl up one of those blankets again, a jelly roll. Place them underneath your seat and your heels for a little bit of extra kind of support. And then just sit nice and tall, lengthening your spine, and maybe even outstretch the arms overhead for a breath in, extend the spine. And then hands rest at your heart space on the exhale. Pause for a few rounds of breath. And when you're ready, you can start to hinge forward from the hips and walk the fingertips alongside your mat, alongside your bolster. And eventually, ribs, chest, shoulders straight down. And here you rest and sink forward. Ensure that your hips are pretty far back, that you're resting into that blanket. Oftentimes I see people lifting the hips up quite a bit, so you're putting a little bit more pressure on the shins and the knees, kind of sinking down. But if your hips are fairly high, go ahead and get another roll of blankets or another makeshift bolster and stick it under the seat. Or maybe your bolster in front needs to be heightened. So go ahead, even make it, maybe 1.5 feet off the ground as well. Whatever works for you, but some way that you feel like you have support in your front body and you are able to allow breath to come into your back body. All right, so there's not necessarily restriction in the front body with your chest being down, but we're just finding ways to navigate, massage that breath into the back body. Right? So that's child's pose. We can go into a few different twists that you can do. Here I'll utilize, I'll utilize that same little bolster, place it on the left side of your mat. And maybe if you want, you can extend a blanket way long on your mat or not, totally up to you. And here I am going to place a blanket where my head is going to go. I'm going to be twisting over to the left here. So essentially what I'll be doing is bringing this knee and placing it on my bolster to the left. So let's get nice and long on the mat. Squeeze the knee in. If it feels right, you can even do a half happy baby to prepare. Just get a nice little stretch. Otherwise, go ahead and sweep the knee over to the left and allow that bolster to be support for you. An easy twist, you'll be coming all the way over on your left side. A little deeper, try to keep the shoulders nice and square. And another option, arms extend wide. And maybe gaze goes over the right fingers. That's a pretty strong twist. Again, you don't want too much of strenuous activity or too much of a deep stretch of any kind, as this pose is really designed for us to get the benefit of a twist, very cleansing pose, without any strenuous activity, again. And here, you'll just allow that right leg to really fall into that bolster. You could put some kind of weight on your right thigh as well to help with this. And that means a blanket or even something that's somewhat weighted. My sister-in-law made me this nice little heating pack that has either beans or rice in it, and you stick it in the microwave. I think it's rice. And you stick it in the microwave, has essential oil that you can stick on top as well for 2 minutes, microwave, nice and warm. It really is pretty light, but it's significant what it can do if you place it on that leg. So even if it's just that extra pound, just enough to kind of help you feel weighted and sinking down into the mat. Also, an option here of extending a blanket all across the shoulders. So you can create a rope somewhat from a blanket. So in this case, I have my great Miami University blanket, and I'm going to create a kind of a rope with it. So I'll fold it up long ways here, a couple of times. So it's nice and long. And while you're in that twist, you can just have it drape all across your chest and across your arms as well. Stay here for about 10 minutes or so, and then you could go ahead and do the same thing on the opposite side. So just place that bolster over on the right side. Okay. Same exact thing. All right. Next pose is a modified legs up the wall. As you can see here at my feet, I have a little couch chair. Just nice. You can do this on a normal couch or any kind of chair if you want a little more support or a little bit more softness underneath the calves. You might want to just place a blanket up on that chair as well. So here, I'm going to shift my blanket a little closer to my chair. And again, you can use that little rope, save it to the side here. And I'm going to use that nice comfortable heating pad as well for this. So all you'll do is bring the hips in pretty close to your chair or your couch, calves rest. Knees can be about hips distance. And here we'll sink down into the mat. Again, you have that yoga rope. You can go across the arms. You can even choose to cactus the arms. Okay. So elbows bend. That helps open the heart. You might feel a little bit of an energy shift in your upper chakras particularly. Another option, as I mentioned, is placing that heating little pillow right on your belly. Stimulate sacral chakra. Okay. So again, arms wide, maybe even one hand on heart, one hand on belly, or cactus the arms. Okay. So here we're achieving pretty same benefits, similar benefits of legs up the wall, but a bit more restorative. This stimulates the pineal gland as we're sending blood to third eye, which really helps with insomnia, the other circadian rhythms that we have in terms of being asleep at night when it's dark out and being awake and alert when the sun is out. There is a modified legs up the wall, right? And then of course you have your final Savasana. Very easy peasy, extending long on your mat with a blanket, maybe across you. You can place anything across your lap or across your shoulders and find that place of ease. You can also maybe place a face mask or an eye mask on, which is really convenient as well. So hope that helps for a few more restorative poses for you. Hope all is well, and I miss all my Friday night peeps at the Yoga Lounge. We'll see you soon. Bye.